Okay, at this time we're going to hear from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ricky drives the number 6 Sam's Club Cargill Ford in the NASCAR Nationwide Series for Roush Fenway Racing. And understand you just came from an appearance in Florence, Kentucky.
We did. We just got back from a Sam's Club. There's a lot of people there getting ready for the race.
That's exactly right. And if you notice there in Florence, they have that water tower that says Florence Y'all.
Sounds just like Mississippi.
That's right. That's right. But Ricky, thanks for coming by, and certainly this race weekend notwithstanding, you've had a busy week, or news-making week, I would say, and certainly congratulations on your future plans with Roush Fenway, and maybe talk about that a little bit, and then also how coming here to Kentucky Speedway, getting on the racetrack, and you know, trying to get you a win in the Nationwide Series as well. Yeah,
it was a big week for us. You know, I got the call last week about it, and you know, I guess I didn't really realize it was going to be that big when they announced it. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know, seeing everything on Twitter and everybody texted me, it was like a you know, like I won a race again. You know, people texted me and things like that. So it's a great opportunity. You know, I was kind of shocked when I heard the news. I thought for sure that we would be a 4th car, and definitely didn't see Matt going anywhere, but you know, you just got to take advantage of each situation that you're in, and we got to go into next year with you know, ready to go, and learn as much as we can, and try to finish this year off on a strong note. We came in here this year wanting to win the 2012 Nationwide Series Championship, so we got to make sure that we stay focused on that. I say this week's probably going to be the toughest week, getting all the questions about next year, to stay focused on this race, but coming into Kentucky, we've ran very strong here. I won my first stock car race here in ARCA in 2008, and we've had a strong run ever since in the Nationwide car. And you know, I think last year we were running 3rd, had to pit for fuel late in the race, and came home 8th, I believe. But it's a racetrack where I think we can you know, get the ball back rolling. You know, we were off there a couple weeks in a row, so I think this is the place to turn it around and get it back going again.
We'll take questions now for Ricky. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll get you a wireless mic. We'll go with Claire, and then Shannon, Reed, and then Joe. Claire, Shannon, Reed, Joe, Bob.
When I spoke to you, Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, when I spoke to you earlier in the week, you were sort of, it was still sinking in. Since then, you've talked to more media outlets, and you've had a chance to get congratulated by a lot of people in the garage. How are you feeling now?
Still feel great. You know, but I try not, you know, I was on the way up here, you know, rode up with Mom and Dad in the motorhome, and Dad asked me how, you know, what do you think? And, you know, I try not to let it get, you know, too big right now. I think, you know, I got to stay focused. I got to stay humbled and keep going. You know, you can't look too far ahead, and but I feel great about the opportunity still.
Let's go with Reed, Shannon, Joe, and then Bob. Reed right here on the front. Then Shannon, and then Bob.
Ricky, a couple of quick ones. Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Could you go through basically the timeline on how you found out about this? I know Jack's been talking about getting you in a Cup car for a while now, but exactly how did this particular deal come down? Do you get to pick the car number? And any plans for running more Cup races this year to prepare for next year?
We've been talking about running Cup for a long time now. I think it started back in the off season. I think Jack kind of wanted to run this year, but you know, I think the way sponsorship fell and things like that, and me wanting to run another year Nationwide, got us that opportunity to run another year Nationwide. We've early in the year we were talking about running some Cup races towards the end of the year to get ready for next year. So I think Jack had the mindset that we were going to do that no matter what. I'm not sure what all happened. You know, I just got the call Thursday that said that we were going to run, and Matt was not coming back. So I have no idea how it went down. I just got a phone call and never would have expected that. And as of right now, I don't have a say-so on the car number. I think, yeah, I'm just excited to race. You know, we've been 6 for a long time with Jack, or I say a long time, a couple years. But you know, I think that depends on, you know, sponsorships and things like that. So I'll let them kind of figure that out.
Let's go with Shannon. Go ahead.
Shannon Spake, ESPN. Recently, Tony Eury Jr., Danica's crew chief, said that he felt that she was being put in some bad situations on the racetrack because the other drivers don't want to lose to a woman. You've been on the racetrack with her the last couple of years. Your thoughts on those comments?
Yeah, I can't speak for everybody else out there. You know, I view Danica as a great race car driver. I feel like she's earned getting here. And we're great friends off the racetrack, and I try to help her out whenever she has questions. Apparently, I need to go ask her questions about the road course because she was wearing us out there. So, you know, I don't race her any different than I do anybody else, but I will say I can see a little difference of other people racing her. You know, just going back and watching the races and things like that. People putting her in positions that are tough to handle the race car in. Whether that be sucked down on the right side at a fast racetrack. But I try to race her just the same as I race everybody else.
Let's go to Joe Menzer and then Bob Pockers.
Hey, Ricky. Joe Menzer, NASCAR.com. Elliott Sadler was in here earlier, and he said that he feels that your team could go to Cup right now and be a chase contender. He said the same thing about his team as well, but just wondering, is that your level of confidence there as well, and what's the plan with your team as far as moving everybody to Cup?
Yeah, I feel like we got a great race team right now. Mike Kelly has, you know, we've got some new guys this year, but he assembled the guys in the off season that, you know, we never missed a beat from last year and started up strong. You know, I think they're one of the best teams in the business, and I believe in each and every one of them. You know, that being said, I have no idea what's going to happen next year. I have no idea if Mike's going to be the crew chief, if my guys are coming up. You know, I know that was the talk if we were going to run a 4th team, that they were going to come with me. But, you know, now that we're going to be the 3rd team, I'm not sure how all that plays out. I think, you know, we got people in position to make those decisions. Robbie Reiser's a veteran at this, and Jack, and, you know, everybody. So I'm going to kind of leave it up to them. You know, I can give my input, but, you know, I think they probably have an idea of what they want to do. I have not been able to sit down and talk with anybody yet. I think we're going to do that next week. So, you know, I got the call Thursday, raced on Saturday, and then been in Mississippi. You know, this week. So hopefully we can get things more ironed out as the year goes on.
Let's go with Bob Pockers, and then we'll come up here to Al Pierce. Go ahead, Bob.
Bob Pockers, Sporting News. You talking about Danica, and you said that you're great friends. It could be you and her as kind of the 2 main rookies in Cup next year. What do you think about battling her for Rookie of the Year? And since you are friends, are you trying to think of a good, like, on-the-side wager, you know, on who wins that prize?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can get her some wearing some Tony Lama boots every weekend if we were to win. But you know, it seems weird, you know, thinking about it. You know, I mean, we were a rookie in 2010 in the Nationwide Series, and you know, to be running for another Rookie of the Year sounds kind of different for me. But you know, I think it'll be exciting. It's going to be fun. You know, she's learning a lot. Each and every week I see her getting better on the racetrack, on these ovals, and on the short track. So I hope it's a good battle. I hope it's going to be fun next year. I know that we get along off the racetrack and on the racetrack, and it'll be fun next year.
Let's go with Al, then we'll go to Patrick, and then Mark Garrow, and then here to Joe.
Ricky, Al Pierce from Auto Week. You sound like this came not as a surprise, but the timing of it is a little bit of a surprise. Do you think Jack wanted to maybe get it done to remove any distraction from the rest of the year, to let you know right now, this is where you are next year, concentrate on Nationwide now? Because if this thing had dragged on until the fall, do you think that might be part of his thinking?
I'm not real sure. I think, you know, I have no idea about the things that happened with Matt and Roush Fenway. You know, that was you know, none of my doing. I was not in those. So you know, I felt pretty confident about running full time next year. Obviously in the 4th car. I don't think that was really going to be much of a distraction. The way Jack and I have talked over the last you know, couple months or so, I felt pretty strong about going full-time Cup next year anyway.
Well, let's go with Patrick. Right here, Patrick, Mark Garrow, and then Joe, and then Lee.
Patrick Levy, NASCAR Productions. Ricky, looking ahead to Indianapolis in a few weeks, the Nationwide Series make their debut there. With all the history at that track, how important is it for you to perform well there?
It's going to be important to perform well, especially when Elliott's got a lot more laps than we do there. You know, we led 189 laps at the short track last year, so it's going to be different. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I like flat racetracks. I'm not sure how I like flat, fast racetracks. And being at the Brickyard will be really cool. You know, I would love to kiss the bricks when we got done with that thing. But you know, it's going to be tough, but it's important to run well there. Sam's Club is going to be on the car again at Indianapolis, and hopefully we'll have a ton of people out there with the triple header weekend, and just looking forward to getting on track. They say it's, you know, I've never made a lap around there, not even in a pace car, so they say it gets pretty narrow once you get out there, and they say from practice to the race it gets even crazier with all the fans filling in, so definitely looking forward to it.
Let's go to Mark Garrow, and then to Joe, and then to Lee.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Ricky, if you move to Cup and you're driving the 6th car, among the media, the fans, maybe even inside the garage, the expectation level is here, I think. And now that you'll be taking over Matt's seat, the expectation level is going to be a lot higher. Do you feel that's going to add more pressure to your first year in Sprint Cup than you would have if you'd gone with the 4th car?
I think the expectations are high anyway. Being with an organization like Roush Fenway Racing, who has been winning for 25 years, I don't think a number really decides, you know, how much pressure there is. I put a lot of pressure on myself each week, and being in equipment that can win and run up front, you know, there's going to be a lot of pressure, but I think I'm going to put a lot of pressure on myself more than anybody.
Go ahead, Joe, and then Lee.
Joe Rady, Cincinnati Enquirer. Now knowing where you're going to be for Cup next year, how do you approach the rest of the Nationwide season now?
I think I can go into it, you know, with a little more confidence, a little more pep in our step. I think our team's pumped up about it and excited for me. I'm excited about it, and you know, it puts a lot of confidence in me that you know, Jack Roush and everybody at Roush Fenway has the you know, believes in me to go up there and run that Cup car next year, and so I think it gives us a little bit of extra edge going into the rest of this season, and to finish it off on a strong note. I think that's the only way we need to go out is with a championship. So we're going to work really, really hard for it.
Lee?
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Did you have other teams looking for your services for next year? And also, now that your deal's done, I mean, Jack and Steve have both said they wanted to get you in Cup cars this year to get you ready for next year because you were going regardless. What does your plan look like at this point? What, you know, where is your next Cup race going to be?
Yeah, I have no idea where the next one's going to be. I know we've talked about maybe running Dover was kind of already on the schedule, looking at based on sponsorship. I think we're going to sit down this week and kind of look at the rest of the schedule. I think it would be important to run a place like Martinsville. I've never been there before. So we're going to have to take a look at the racetracks coming up and ones that, you know, I could learn a little bit more on or get a few more laps on, and then maybe some that I'm comfortable with that won't interfere with our nationwide cars. And as far as other teams, you know, I heard of a bunch of teams that might be a possibility. I never really entertained any offer or anybody coming up to me. Jack Roush has been a great supporter, and for somebody to take me out of the car and put me back in and really believe in me, I felt like I owed it to them to stay here, and I feel at home here. And Tony and I always mess around just because I drove for him in the past, and we really understand each other and get along. And I felt pretty confident that we were going to be at Roush.
Any more questions for Ricky? Eric's got one right here.
Eric Crawford, WDRB. Ricky, you mentioned that first ARCA win. Your progress through this sport has been pretty clockwork, maybe faster than you thought. Does that seem like a long time ago? Or talk about just how quickly you've gotten to this point. What do you think's gone into that?
Yeah, it seems like a long time ago now. Looking back at what I've learned and how I've adapted to asphalt and stock cars, and working in the body shop, that seems like a long time ago, ARCA. But it's where I learned. I think we ran 22 races that year and really got a feel for it and felt pretty good. It's just it's been an up and down battle. I mean, we've been at the lowest of lows and the highest of highs, and we just gotta. I think over the course of 2008 till now, we've been able to manage it a little bit better and stay focused on the right path. But that win at Kentucky here was really cool and really special. All my family was here and a lot of friends, since it's fairly close to home, and so hopefully we can put it in Victory Lane again this weekend.
Let's go Mark Garrow, and then we'll go over to Woody.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Ricky, I understand you were back home in Mississippi, actually probably, I understand, out in the race shop with your dad when you got the call. What was that like in getting the call, being able to tell your dad and get that kind of immediate reaction, and what was his reaction?
Well, I got it actually before Road America, but they wouldn't let me tell anybody. So I kind of mentioned it the night before it came out to Mom and Dad, and I don't think they really understood what I was trying to tell them, because the next day when they finally announced it, they were very excited. It was really cool to see the reaction on Dad's face when I got to our engine shop, and it was good to spend time at home. Got to play in some softball games and just kind of hang out with my buddies and have some fun, and now we're glad that we're back at the racetrack.
Woody
came with MRN. Ricky, you mentioned the highs and lows of lows recently, with especially on track in the Nationwide Series. The next few tracks coming up, do they give you more or less confidence, or with the way things have been going, can you even predict anything?
We have a good idea of. Obviously we had a part failure at Charlotte. I made a mistake at Dover. We were running second. Charlotte felt like we had one of the fastest race cars. Michigan, we missed it, but we were trying some things, and we know exactly what it was that probably cost us a lot of speed and handling in that race. So we got that back out of the race car, and we're ready to go here. I haven't lost confidence in anything that we're doing at Roush Fenway. If you don't try things, you're not going to get better. We know a direction that we don't need to go now, and we're looking forward to the rest of the year. We've ran well at Daytona before. Kentucky, we're really strong. Loudon, we led laps late, finished fourth there last year. I think really any oval track, I feel like is our racetrack, and especially in the summer months when it's hot and slick, I really enjoy those. So I think we can get going on any of them.
Any other questions for Ricky? Ricky, thanks for coming in this Thursday night, and good luck this weekend, and congratulations on the news for 213. Thank you.
Are you going to fight now for your spot? Are you going to fight now?